Let's see. I was the Spectacular Spider-Man,
Hmm.
Green Lantern, the animated series. We did Avengers Assemble.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
was Ant-Man in that.
go on. I want to hear, if people are interested in how you started, how
Hmm.
you broke into this
Okay.
world, because
Yeah,
we are here to entertain the audience that has been so gracious to hang with us or join us, you
absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. Well, I am a child acting survivor. I was a child actor. And I actually joined the union when I was about 5 years old. And that it was I kind of fell into it, I'd say, because
Uh-uh.
I have three sisters, and my older sister used to do like beauty pageants, except for those who don't know, beauty pageants are totally like rigged, in the sense that they have like these little, I like to call them like microtransactions or DLC. So
Ah.
depending on how many of the little microtransaction categories you enter, like, best dress or brightest smile or bounciest hair or whatever, like the more of these you enter, because you have to pay to enter each one of these little subcategories, you have a better chance of winning the overall thing because they're going to want to
Ah.
reward the people who have spent on all these things. But the one thing that you can't really fudge is the talent competition. Because if you go on there and you suck and somebody else is like really, really amazing and doesn't win, people are going to be like, something's a little funny there. So my older sister was a great singer, and so she would go and win these talent competitions, and she ended up getting an agent through one of these pageants, and started auditioning. And my dad, like, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. My dad worked sometimes three jobs. He's an English teacher. He would teach adults, like at adult school. So he would teach
Thank him
night
for
school and he would
that. That's
teach,
Mhm.
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So he would teach
Shout
night
out to
school and he would
dad.
teach in the morning. And so my mom would schlep us around to, well, schlep me around because I couldn't just stay at home by myself because I was like 4 or 5. And so my sister had like dance classes and singing classes and auditions, and I was along for the ride. And
I've heard this story
yeah, I mean,
before.
I
for better or
haven't.
worse,
I haven't heard
like
Oh, no, 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 not
I
his
want,
story.
Oh.
Other people have a
Oh,
similar
okay.
story. I went along because
yeah,
my sister or my older brother, and I had to, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden I found myself. I was in it.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's pretty much what it was. I mean, I was this precocious little kid. I overpronounced everything, and I
Mhm.
always wanted to talk about things, and I always wanted to talk to adults. And so my sister was at an audition for a commercial. I want to say it was something like Oshkosh, like a kid's brand of
Yeah.
clothing. And I was just tagging along, and the casting lady comes out, and I just start chatting her up, and I'm talking to her, and I'm talking to her, and they end up bringing me in for this audition. And I end up booking this spot, and my
Stop.
sister did not. And
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
Are you
she
guys
probably
still
still hates
talking
me
by
to
any
this day
chance or
because
no?
of that, and that's probably the reason why we don't. But but yeah, I mean, it was that basically got me into that agency, and then from then on, I started auditioning, and I kind of started from the bottom of the entertainment industry, just doing like whatever extra work, commercials, student films like AFI films, things here and there. And then I just kind of grew up in it. Like I didn't do a lot of voiceover back then because back then they didn't really have a lot of things that used actual kids for
Kids,
voiceovers.
right? They were
Mhm.
using
It was
adults at
always
that time.
adults sounding like kids.
Women.
But the one thing
Hmm.
that they were insistent upon using kids for was Peanuts. And
Oh.
so I was Linus in a Peanuts special called Snoopy's Reunion. That was the
I
first
Oh.
voiceover job I ever did.
did not know this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Line.
yeah, I was
I
Linus.
you know what I
I
That's
love
was
pretty
Linus.
you know what I love
amazing.
about that
Yeah.
story is you hit on what anybody who ever worked in any part of this town is, which you got to start somewhere. You got to,
Yeah.
because a
I
lot of
mean,
people are always putting in the chat all day. How do I get in? Ask every one of the guests. Well, how do I break in? How do I break in?
Oh,
And the
right?
answer is you do
yeah.
whatever it is that you could find to do,
Get
and you
in.
start at
Yeah.
the
I mean,
bottom
and
and
it
you
was a
keep
Get
different business
noticed.
back
get
then.
noticed.
Yeah.
It was a really different business back then. Like now I feel like there's so much more competition because everything's opened up with the internet. However, there's also so many more avenues to get started as your own artist. Like
It's so true.
we didn't have the benefit of social media. We didn't have the benefit of something like YouTube where you could
Right?
literally create your own
Right.
content and reach an audience of millions of people. You had to get your foot in the door somehow, and you had to really just kind of like pound the pavement. Like we used to look in the trade magazines. They had like Backstage West and the Drama
Hmm.
Log, where
Yes.
you would
I
literally go, and it was like
remember.
classifieds for actors. Yeah, where you would
Yeah.
like go into the like now casting section, which was like the
Not
the
anymore.
hiring notices in the
Yeah.
back of the paper.